Micah, Van and Melonine, and well met indeed. I'm Arakir Galadirth, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as Ered Luin, because despite what I'm certain I said yesterday, this is not Friday, this is Thursday, so you get 4 Ered Luin episodes in a row, and then tomorrow you will get an Isengard episode, which I have just literally recorded, because I got my days mixed up. But anyway, we are starting off with a battle which I know many people hate. There's a couple of Angmar units in the army that's arrayed against us. However, it is not an army to be feared of, so we are going to absolutely smash them, to be honest. It's going to be a very simple battle, so nothing too out of the ordinary. But we want to use our broad beam marksman as best we can. And then really just try and... we'll maneuver when we get into position, but we attack them, so they are going to be far, far away. Could you have gone further away? Goodness gracious. So there's some Angmar archers, couple of units of them actually. There's some Iron Crown, I can't remember what they're called, warriors, swordsmen, something like that. Two-handed sword in the back. They are quite good, but there's not many of them at all. There's some men of Rudauer there as well. We've seen the hillmen already. They've got a lot of those. They make up the bulk of Angmar's army, to be honest. And then those are the units they get from the guild. There's also some Iron Crown halberdiers at the back. They will be a bit of a trouble. And lastly, there are 7 Barrow-wights somewhere. Probably hiding because I think they can hide anywhere. Or they are just in the trees. We are going to use our broad beam marksman to try and cause some upset with our enemy. And then ideally what we're going to want to do actually is come down this hill here. The pikes will go down the hill. They will be supported on their flank by our nice aggressive units, and then on the left hand side we will have those units. So the broad beams, if I can get you to go over there, we'll speed it up while everyone moves into position, and away we go. Let's get some good kills off these broad beams. That's the plan today, and then we can finally put them to good use. They are very slow moving though. Oh no, it's because pikes make everything look like it's slow moving, because pikes have this just ridiculous movement speed. I don't know why. It's something to do with their animation. It's not worth changing, so we haven't bothered changing it. But, oh, that's so annoying. Why does it do that? Oh, this game has so many little quirks, doesn't it? Right, the enemy's maneuvering, so let's maneuver 2. Take up your positions. You're going to be team 1. You're going to... let's use some actual words, shall we, get it? You're going to need to run, so let us get a move on. You're going to need to run as well, and then you're in position to take out Angmar archers. Our pike line is going to just get intercepted, which is very annoying. Keep your spears down, you'll hit the hillmen, no trouble. You've got some orc fighters coming at you. Dwarven labourers, cut to the left. Clan Lord Gore, take those. You go down the middle. You bring them down. They're not going for the labourers, are they? They are going for the labourers. Right, Clan Lord Gore, you cut to the side, you flank.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
You guys go through the gap in the middle. I feel like playing Total War games almost non-stop over these past few weeks in all my spare time, being Total War Warhammer 2, where I'm finally doing well with Elite and Art, but then I spoke about that in the Isengard episode, which you've yet to see, but you'll learn some more about that in the Isengard episode. And then playing this game a lot. I feel like I'm finally starting to get a little better, but old habits do die very hard, and it takes a long time before I really start to actually do things as I'm supposed to. But I think when battles are more important, I will start utilising the slow mode feature that this game has, because it has proved so useful to me in Warhammer. I definitely want to use that more. But certain times, of course, it does not matter, and you can quite easily speed the game up.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
You cease fire. There's hardly anything left now. Oh, don't chase those, of course, no. You need to go and shoot them because they are going to shoot at us. Who can we offer up as a sacrifice? Dwarven labourers, get yourselves in there.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead. We have
right, let's come out of that. You
hell.
all come out of Pike Wall and run away. We don't want to take needless losses. You guys definitely run away. You don't have any shields. You pull back. Gore, you can stay in the front because you replenish automatically. But we want to run them away as well. So we're offering up the labourers as a sacrifice, and we're offering up Gore as a sacrifice. So if they want to shoot at us, they can shoot at those two while our crossbow units do what they can. And then we'll move in a moment and hopefully finish them off. But for now, they're just going to shoot us, I assume. Oh, no, they cannot. For some reason, they're not getting close enough. What are they actually doing? Who do they want to try and shoot? No one, by the looks of it. Are you guys getting shot? Ah, oh, yes, you are. Bugger. Whoops. Too keen on that front. Come on, shoot Clan Lord Gore. Oh, they're going for the marksman. That's alright. Right, you guys come and get into position ready to spring the trap. They're not shooting you, so just come together. We need them to run away. We need them to run away. Come over there. Come over there. Over there.
Look how
yes, there it is. 137 lost, 566 killed. It's a shame they lost 137 though, and most of that will have been through arrow fire, but 251 kills. The broadbeam marksman, despite only having about 50 men, or 50 dwarves rather, they managed to kill 200. That's ridiculous. They're so useful. I'm definitely coming around to the use of crossbows where they are useful. But in my mind, when I think of crossbow units, I think of Thorn crossbows for Dwarven. I think of Ered Luin scouts. And I think of Orthanc sentries from Isengard. And all three of those crossbow units aren't really worth it, because the damage output they do is not good enough to make up for how slowly they fire. So, those are the crossbow units that are in my mind.
My king, come and get me.
Now, we can't really leave these armies wandering around here, so we are going to have to mop them up before we then head east. Which is what we will do.
My king.
You're going to head off and see Barketta, aren't you? Yes. For Hamgathor's training some units. We're still making nice money. With that 3,000, what are we going to do? I wonder if that was the door, or if Callie just jumped down off of something, but there seemed to be a bang. Right, yeah, so we'll attack Herion. Or when he ran away.
Victory.
He's got Rudau Savages, Hillmen, Pikemen. Oh, there's no archers. Yep, we'll fight this one as well then. Let's really get to know our early tier Ered Luin forces. Let's get a feel for them. Yes, I think that was the door. I think Jessica's returned. So it's not just Callie jumping off of things. Right, now we attack them, so they will run away. So the first part of this, like the battle we just fought, is going to just be manoeuvring. Oh no, look, they're right there. Perfect. Thank you very much. Right, move it there. Move over there. Let's just turn that down. I don't like to outright pause it. I always feel guilty when I pause it. I know I'm not really good enough to not pause it. But I do feel guilty when I do pause. Right, there we are. That gives us some maneuverability. You guys fire straight away. Start shooting at something. Draw them in. No, they've taken too long. Got a couple of shots off. But we'll follow them. We'll follow them where they go. Oh, they're turning, they're turning, they're turning. It's so difficult to maneuver your entire team. But there we are, I think we've got it. Right, into positions. Pike units. Put those spears down. Broadbeam marksman, just come and stand over there. Don't go out in the front this time. Everybody please run into positions. They're going to hit our line perfectly, which is very helpful. So let's get ready to flank. You guys go there. You guys go over there. And you turn onto the side. And you up the hill. Ah, no, don't turn onto the side. They're coming for you. You guys go over there. Oh, we've got to watch this. We've got to watch this. Pikes versus pikes. Hold your ground, you stupid fools. Now, we have a slight advantage in that we are a bit shorter than them, so their default prodding action will be above our heads.
Is very much in our favor.
But it looks fantastic. Look how many pikes are down the middle of that line.
Will be ours.
Can you imagine being in the middle of that? Oh. We've got 92, they've got 120. The victory for us is certain. They're crushing in. I'm not all that bothered about what's happening elsewhere. We should be. And you... Top of that hill. Where are the savages? Ah, there's the savages. Yes. Right, if you can, try and still kill those savages. But let's go back to where it's really entertaining. Pikes on pikes. We've now got 82. They've only lost 20 more. Victory's now on their side. The Dwarven horn blows from behind, trying to give us a bit more oomph, but it's not to be. Look at them. Look at them. It's like their unit card. Do you want to see what their unit card looks like? Exactly like that. Did we win over there? I need you involved.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
They're down to
They have
87.
lost
And we've
half
got
their
80.
men.
Yes, it's not going to be their day. And the Firebeards have moved in, but have pulled up short. Oh, some of the pikes have turned around in anticipation. I really like the Ruidau pikeman model. It's another one where it's just nice and simple. And when it's simple, it can be to the best quality that this game will allow. And I think it looks good. And as expected, the pikes have fled. The cowards are running. Only the savages really remain. You guys stop shooting those. You can start shooting the thralls and the pikes if you like. But now we actually need the savages taken care of because they will. There we are. Continue capture as many as you
After
can.
them, cut the cowards down.
That's as many as we're going to get.
Be in awe of the victory
42,
we have won here
677.
today.
Much better. Archers really are our downfall. 139 Ered Luin pikemen. What we definitely need to do, which I've not done, which is foolish, and I know that we can do it because I the head of the mod. I should have recruited the mercenary cavalry, which we can get in our starting regions. Even one unit of cavalry helps the dwarves massively. And that is the way you are supposed to get it. You hire mercenary cavalry. We can get mercenary cavalry from the Breeland area. We can get mercenary Anduin cavalry from the Anduin area. And we can get mercenary Dale cavalry from the Dale area. That is how we get cavalry.
Glory and honor.
I'm kind of offering Gobadrine up as a bit of a sacrifice,
king.
really. Oh,
It
hello.
will be an honor.
A
defeating
Fanozir.
you.
A Fanazir, what are you? Oh, witch. Of course you've got witch knights. You're not special.
Aye, my liege. An honor, my lord.
Right, that's all Gore's got. There's no point, I don't think, really
We'll rest here
pushing
tonight, sir.
east just yet. I'm not really sure. Do I have a general back here? Did I train one or something along those lines? Have we got a family member knocking around doing nothing? Kuri, Oin and Kuri. One of those can come back, can't they? Because there's
Aye,
Oin
my liege.
and there's Kuri. So,
An honor, my lord.
do we particularly care which
My
one? I
king.
don't think we do. Who's got the best acumen? Ah, Kuri has. Right, Oin. So you
my
come
liege.
back and get me some merchant
watch.
cavalry, which we can get from our
Come here
heartland.
until
And you can then pick up some of the troops that I think we're
and
lining up as well.
glorious.
And then you can take over command of Frar, and we'll try and get Gelon and Barketta. I'd rather take Barketta than Ostgelon, because Gelon is a village, which means it's useless to us, really. Yeah, but we're going to get 3,000 gold coins. I think it might be worthwhile getting a second port, so we'll chuck that in before we go for more units. But for now, let us end the turn, unless our diplomat... Nope, we can end the turn. We've really got Angmar on the back foot, but we can't push them too far, because we'll get their last stand. But we can at least just really close the gates around them before we are then forced to become neutral with them. But it's fun fighting Angmar. It's something I don't think I've done all that much with this new iteration of Angmar. Oh, and there they are, taking Gobadrine. Go on, yes, take Gobadrine, then I can siege you again. It only makes 55 gold coins. It's barely even worth it. I will stop chasing Oin down. He's done nothing to you. Just let him go about his business already. Haldar. The problem here is Haldar himself with his Huskars. Nothing else in that army is particularly useful.
Courage, men.
The only thing I do like about Medieval 2 over Warhammer, one of the... not the only thing I do, there's many things I do like, but one of the things I like about this is knowing... Oh, I do want that, we can't afford it. Is knowing that if I attack a unit like that, Haldar just lost 31 men, and I know that he won't get those 31 men back unless he returns to his own land. The downside of Warhammer and all the later Total War games is system of just giving you replenishment wherever you are. It makes simple losses like that one, where you still killed some people, you were chipping away at them, that wouldn't matter in later games because they'd just replenish straight away. It would make no difference. They just got to stand in their region. Whereas now they've got to go all the way back to one of their cities and retrain. But anyway, the rings. Elven message. A party of elves arrived at the gates this morning and asked to see the king. The guards refused entry, saying that only invited elves would make it into these halls. The elves bid the guards deliver a message to the clan lord in their stead, and it reads as follows. Clan lord, Word has reached us of the emissary that visited you some time ago. We know not of his request, but we know of his master, the Dark Lord Sauron. Whatever it was he offered you, it will not bring anything but ruin to the dwarves. We urge you to reject anything presented by that foul traitor. We cannot begin to guess what he offered, but the bounty of the elves is for all who are willing to share in it. So an enticing message. Rioting in Gobadrine just as we lose it, which means nothing really. And we're heading for Dol Guldur, aren't we? Yes, they're over there somewhere. The Anduin Vale like us, even though we're not really doing anything. But I suppose they probably don't like Angmar very much, do they? So they're keen that we're attacking Angmar.
I respect you.
Honor, my lord. Aye.
You guys are making your way over to Barketta.
Aye, my liege.
I want Oin to go all the way back so we can get some...
We'll rest here
we can already get them, but they cost 700 coins. But there we are.
We'll rest here
So just wait there, pick up a cavalry unit, and then head south.
Here, son.
Those 2 units will be ready shortly. We did get the port, that's good. We could do with the forge hall because it boosts our morale, but it's not that important as dwarves. We already get ridiculous
Honor,
morale.
by your will,
And as
sire,
expected,
we shall engage.
they stayed inside, so we can
We
kill
shall
off that
hold
army
them
by
to siege,
sieging them
sire.
out, which will be handy.
Aye, sire.
Yeah,
We
it's a
hold
nice,
them at
easy way of killing them. So I think we can end the turn again. We can't afford to do anything else anyway, so we'll end the turn there. So the elves sending us their message. Now, I'm not going to... Of course, this time I'm going to take the rings because I want to show you the script. Someone did suggest that I should put a poll out and ask how many of you... And ask if you want to see the rings or not see the rings. But I thought that was folly because if I'd reject the rings, then the campaign is a normal Ered Luin campaign and only the Buzz-Radum reclamation then stands. And what would be the point of that? You all know what Ered Luin's like, that we put this script in specifically to change the gameplay of Ered Luin. So if I wasn't going to show it off, there'd be no point. So no, I'm not going to ask you. We're going to be accepting the rings. But if we do reject them, that message from the elves alludes to the fact that they will give you support if you reject the rings, and what they give you is boats and Lindar mariners plus an extra tier of port. So you can make a bit more money from your ports, you can get some boats, and you get Lindar mariners. Right, Captain Gormal is the one who's attacking us. He's got 2 units of wargs and he's got 2 Angmarim units. And Captain Fionnan, who's trapped in the town, has got an archer unit, which is a pain in the neck. And he's got 1 archer unit as well. And of course the wargs. I've just saved it, didn't I? But let's save it again. What the heck? All Angmarim warg units are ranged, so you don't have to worry about them charging you just yet. And I thank the comment on either the 3rd or 2nd episode for reminding me of that fact. But yes, all the warg cavalry for Angmar is ranged, so they won't charge into you straight away. Right, we were attacked from the top left. Their reinforcements will be coming in from over there, so we can just sort of stand anywhere we like, really. But we could pull back to that particularly bright hill that hurts one's eyes and stand on here. Goodness gracious, it is so bright. Right, you can come and keep our flanks secure because they will be attacked. We'll move you in a moment, and the Clan Lord will move you when the time comes. And we've got the Broadbeam Marksman taking...
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
Getting better and better. Right, you're ready on that side. You're ready on that side. Let's just pull you further back a bit. Pull you back round. And Gore, you're going to cover that little gap. Right, let's speed her up. The problem is just 100% they're archers, but this hopefully will be one of the last battles we fight where we don't have at least some cavalry to catch archers, because it's turning into a real pain in the neck. But they're going to group together, so we want to be facing more like this, which we can do at time 6 because we've got plenty of time. I must also confess that in Medieval 2 and the Total War games that come before Medieval 2, I prefer that units walk as default and you have to tell them to run. Because I just think I think it's easier because you can double click to make them run, and that's a very, very simple system. It doesn't require really that much thought or effort on your part. Whereas I think it requires more effort to go through each of your units and think, right, I want to walk, so I click them to move, then I have to tell them to walk using a hotkey or actually click the button. Whereas if I wanted this unit to walk and this unit to run, I just double click with this unit and I single click with that one. I think that's easier. I'm not in favour of the change on that point, because I feel like I never bother to now make my units walk, because it's just an extra and annoying step that you often forget about anyway. So I don't like that they did that. Oh, they don't look like they're really going for the flank, so we can do the flank instead. Granted, they may change when they get here. They might switch up their plans, but at the moment they're not flanking at all. Let's just cover our pike flanks by extending the pike line. Something that when we get enough pikes, I will absolutely utilise, and again, some people have mentioned, and it is something I'm very well aware of, but to make your pikes extra invincible, you can double layer them. So do a line of pikes, and then do another one directly on top of it, and then it makes your pikes really, really strong. It does make them, it makes it even more important to protect your flanks then, though, because then you can get 2 units flanked at the same time, which isn't ideal. But it makes pikes really powerful. And once we start to get enough pikes, I will do it. But at the moment, I'd rather have this slightly longer line. Oh, Angmar, you'll never fail to amaze me. Right, let's shoot these Angmar archers, please. Oh, no, shoot those Angmar archers, because the wargs are standing on top of them like idiots. Alright, you're going to help flank with them. We've got a unit coming over here.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
We want the bulk of their army, of course, to just run into our pikes. You go for those. They hit over here. You can now move in and support. Gore, you've got some orc fighters all to yourself. What a glorious day for the Gabilgathol Guard. Such a good-looking unit, the Gabilgathol Guard. Again, simplicity. I just love the units that look nice and simple. And these ones do. And I like the sword as well. I particularly like the Dwarven style sword, or the Dwarven sword designs that we see from The Hobbit. I think they make the swords look cool. Right, all 3 of you, come out of defence, and let's take the fight to the enemy. There we are. I'm always reticent to come out of defence, because somewhere inside of me, my head wants to say that keeping a unit in defensive mode must give them a defensive bonus. But of course it doesn't at all. All it does is tell them not to charge at the enemy. Otherwise it serves no purpose. Right, this battle we will take losses.
The enemy general lies dead.
Primarily.
We have sent the cart to hell.
From the enemy archers.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Right, here we go. Let's get the pikes moving. Pikes moving. You one over there. Angmar infantry. Right, pikes on that side. Go and hit the Angmar infantry. Pikes on this side. Oh no, it's just the inevitable chase down our enemy. Right, you guys come and help and assist with those halberdiers. And Gore, you come in from behind. Speed it up.
Only half the enemy force remains.
All of you hit those halberdiers. All of you hit those halberdiers. You go nice and wide. Keep shooting them. Angmar infantry is breaking. Iron Crown halberdiers are fighting on, but they're now surrounded. Dwarven supremacy. I do like that the dwarves are actually noticeably shorter in this as well. So the small island of humans really does quite stand out, with the dwarves being so small around them. Is that an archer unit willingly coming into the battle? Oh, they came so close. Catch them. Yes, catch them, Gore. Right, we're never going to catch them. So, again, we need to offer up a sacrificial unit. We do not want that to be our pikes. We need those to live. Might as well make it Gore, I suppose, because he can take a lot of arrow fire, and he's very, very unlikely to die. The actual general is very unlikely to die from arrow fire. Crossbows firing all the while. Pikes, actually, if you can come over here, because when those wargs are done, they'll be done quicker than the foot archers. We want to be able to shut them out. Oh, the Angmar archers did actually come for us.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Oh, no. They're not ready yet. They're still going. Just take the few shots that they're going to give us.
The enemy army flees the
They're
field.
running.
After them. Cut the cowards down.
Are they going to skirmish? Can we catch? No, don't bother chasing them then. Come on, wargs. You must have run out of arrows by now. No, they're still going. Goodness. Bring them down. Bring them down. with number parity, we will beat those archers all day of the week. Every day of the week, rather. Rather than all day of the week. That's not a word. All day. Well, that would mean that it is a word, but not in that context. Right, and then just the wargs, who apparently have infinite ammunition. Just a little cheeky, isn't it? Although every single warg we kill is more arrows that the rest are going to fire. But we can't get close to them, they'll run away. Every time. So you've just got to wait until they finish firing, and then they try and charge us. Oh dear. And something I mentioned in the Isengard episode, so it's going to be a little repetitious, is the garrison building has been overhauled. So in previous iterations of the game, the garrison building will give you 1 unit at the first tier and then 2 normal units at the second tier. Well, it now gives you 2 units at the first tier and then 3 units at the second tier. And all 3 of those units will have 5 experience points, 1 extra melee damage, and 1 armor upgrade. So 1 melee upgrade, 1 armor upgrade. So they are better. I don't think those wargs are actually firing arrows at us anymore. I think technically they think they're firing arrows, but in truth they're actually not. This is very difficult skill though to get equidistance. And look how their skirmish range is so much bigger than units on foot. Alright, can we get them? No, they're going to go that way, aren't they?
The enemy army sees that our foe is utterly
310
Let all
and many
who
died.
remember the
219
day
Broadbeam
remember it
marksmen.
as the day of our
Oh, we desperately need to get some of those mercenary cavalry into our army. Merchant cavalry, they're called. We hire them through the mercenary system. But yes, so the garrison building is going to be stronger in the future. Only slightly. You only get 1 extra unit at the first tier now. But I feel like 2 units is what you would expect from a garrison building. I also renamed all the buildings so that they are now all called... the first tier is called the militia garrison and the second tier is called the military garrison. And I also put a line in the building description that says this building gives 2 units of garrison and this building gives 3 units of garrison. So you have a bit more of an idea. Now do note though that there are some locations... I really didn't actually want that in Gobadrine, to be honest. There are some locations where you get more than 2 units, but there are only about 7 on the whole map, so don't expect that to be in many locations.
Aye, sire. March.
Aha, Barketta. Perfect. Yes, you guys go down and meet up with them. Can we train a unit of those? Yeah, get a couple of them in there, and we'll take all of
Aye,
those.
Lord. Move out.
Still making money?
We
Nice.
must no further
Still making
today.
a nice amount of money. This place doesn't like us at all, but we can only afford the pig farm at the moment, so we'll get that. And that's really it. That's the best that we can give it. It's going to hate us. It's going to hate us for such a long time. It needs... Its population growth is 0.5% of 150. Oh my goodness. That is 0.75 people per turn. That is just way too long, isn't it? That is way, way, way too long. We don't really need to upgrade it, but I'm going to move some people to it. For Hamgathol, how many people have you got? 2,000. You will do nicely. So add population for Hamgathol minus 1,000, and then add population Garth Heleg. What's O with a circumflex over it? Oh, I have no idea. 147? Oh, what a guess! Yes, what a glorious day. He's guessed right, everyone. He's guessed right. Garth Heleg, there we are. Boom. Now, at least 1% of that is 10 people or so. It won't take... I mean, how that would have taken... my gut feeling says that would have taken 300 to 400 turns to upgrade. Like, we really need to go around the map and... I don't mind villages having low population because villages have more buildings that improve growth, so they will grow quicker no matter what. Towns always grow quicker than castles, but castles grow so slowly that having a castle with only 150 people is a recipe for disaster. Oh, of course, I can't do that because I destroyed all the buildings here. Yes, I destroyed all the buildings here. Like an idiot. Well, not really an idiot, but I didn't think we were going to hold on to it. Fanazir has arrived. We could really actually do with this army hurrying up and moving through. But courtesy of the Northern Dunedain, Angmar's only way to us is through the Oyalad and Borderlands regions. Rakang as well, but Rakang obviously north of the river is too far away. Oh, they've built their own ship. Oh dear, the game did not like me clicking on him. What is wrong with that?
I'd never take orders from you.
Oh, I don't know what that was about, but there we are. Right, I think we can end the turn again. Oh, Diplomat, didn't move the Diplomat. It's alright, he's moved himself. He's moved himself. I really do like these banners quite a lot. I like the more hand-drawn kind of esque design or style to them. They look a little bit more like a live artist's design as opposed to a graphical artist's design. Ah, Halda comes again. Ah, but Halda, now we can finally finish you off without any risk. In the most glorious battle, we shall take down Halda, and then that will likely end the episode. But with cavalry in our midst, we finally have means to deal with the threat of this army. And it would be nice to stop him badgering Oin's every move. But here's the little cavalry unit that we get.
Come together, my friends!
Come together, my friends! That's from Battle for Middle-earth, as I'm sure many of you will know. Alright, they attacked us, so they've got to move on us. But what we are definitely going to do is just run straight into them. A nice wide line into the men of into the men of Rudauer.
Our men are winning the battle.
Now we'll take losses, absolutely. Merchant cavalry is not really very good,
the enemy.
but they will take losses, which is more to the point. But what I'm really interested in the cavalry for is killing those Rudauer housecarls, because the nobles will take a bit of a beating. Oh, that was an awful charge. Come on, guys, get your act together.
Winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Hit the longbowmen. Did you even charge into them then? Hit the housecarls again.
Good tidings.
Yes!
General
That
dead.
is how you
The
charge
enemy
into
are
a unit.
badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Alright, into position. Go for the crown. Go for the crown. Go for the iron crown longbowman. There we are, another reasonably good charge there. The thralls are chasing us down, but we're not bothered by that. And again. There were 24 of them, and there are... We kill about 6 or so per charge.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
See, this is the thing. We obviously, because we get mercenary cav, we don't get the best mercenary cav.
Keep up now. Stand strong, my bearded friends.
But it is doing the job perfectly.
Look how our cavalry
Yes!
foe runs.
No, in glory and in honour of the fact that we have cavalry, we're not letting anyone get away today. We don't want to spread word to Angmar of our new and vital secret that we now have cavalry. Come on, guys, get a move on. Even if it is particularly weak cavalry.
Our foe
Yes!
is utterly vanquished. Let all who remember
Oh,
this day
Brelanders, thank you.
remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
We lost 34 of the cavalry though, but they took down twice as many as Oin did. But of course, cavalry's real role in our Dwarven armies will not be to win battles on their own. It will be to just stop the archers from killing our dwarves. Dwarves are heavily armoured, and they will take on the archers like the best of them. But a unit, no matter how heavily armoured, will take a lot of damage from arrow fire if it just can't catch the archers. So we now have an opportunity to shut down arrow fire. And we won some money. And the Hornburger's been used. Ah, the choice comes already. Oh, I need to reword that then, because that definitely was not 8 turns. That was only 4 turns, meaning that message should say 1 year, not 2 years. An unnatural frost settled on the gates and walls of the mountains this morning. This demon frost has been seen only once before. It can mean only one thing. The emissary is back. Sure enough, 2 years to the day, he is here, and he presents the same offer 1 year to the day as before. Accept the rings and declare independence and neutrality ever after until he returns, or reject his most gracious offer. Grinfan has mustered all of his followers and is urging that we accept. The world outside these walls has shown us nothing but contempt, he argues. Let us find prosperity here alone. The choice, despite his support, is yours to make. Click on the tick to accept the offer, click on the cross to decline. Accepting will send Ered Luin on a path of isolation and, in time, war with all. It is not an evil choice. It is a neutral choice. War with all. Declining will see the campaign play out in the standard way. Huzzah! The choice has been made. Hostilities cease. Hostilities cease. Alliance in tatters, alliance in tatters, alliance in tatters, yada 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 yada. And Grinfan has spawned, and his retinue has expanded. He's got a ring of Durin's folk. Celebrimbor offered the 7th ring of power to Durin III, king of Khazad-dûm and king of the Longbeards. His ring passed through his successive kings of Durin's folk until it came into Sauron's possession in the late Third Age. He's also got a ring of power. I'm not going to read that one as well, and those two are identical. And as I say, it is only 3 rings, so that was incorrect. But as expected, we are now at war and with no one, and we're allied with no one. And Grinfan has spawned. He's got the 3 rings there, as you can see. The first one gives -2 to loyalty, which doesn't actually matter, because loyalty doesn't mean anything, but it's thematic, so it's nice for that regard. It gives a 20% mining income bonus, which is fantastic. 10% trade, but it also gives +3 unrest. So the town will like you a little less, but it'll make more money. The Ring of Power does exactly the same thing. So it's 3 very powerful things. So if we put them in Thorin's halls, our gold increases by 1,000 coins. And remember, unrest is very easily managed. So the rings are basically just fantastic economic powerhouses, which is good because they make up for the fact that the Obsidian Guard, or Grimborn Reavers as they have now been named, cost 550 each, which is a lot of money. And they spawn. Where do they train from? Do they come from the tier of the barracks? Grimborn Reavers. Yes, they do. So ideally, we want to be climbing up to get that barracks early. Now, what we need to prepare, though, for is, of course, the attack, because we want to hold on to this place. And this is where a fort would be really nice. It'd be really, really handy. Our nearest fort is all the way over there, because Grinfan has these Reavers as well, and they cost a lot of money. So we need to deal with those. But
Aye, Lord. Aye, my liege.
First of all, we'll move those 2 into position there. Gobadrine, we can now try and focus on putting some troops in here because Angmar have just stopped going to war with us. So, yeah, we can queue up the retraining even though it won't be done yet, but we pay for it already. And what we want to do now is send our diplomat as quickly as possible to Erebor and try and rekindle the alliance. That is very important to us now. Because I don't want the dwarves to attack. So we're going to be attacked in our capital, as we will see in due course, but I don't want the dwarven part of that attack to happen. And we can stop that by allying with the dwarves. I also want to be allied with the dwarves for when the Buzzradum reclamation kicks in, which we can now try and send some troops to actually do, can't we? And speaking of sending troops to do, let's train that to Munzahar nobles. So in 3 turns.
Aye, my liege.
So we only got to endure the Reavers' high upkeep for 3 turns, and then we'll send the Reavers south to reclaim Buzzradum. We'll need a bigger army than what we've currently got, so we can take some troops from the surrounding towns and build a little army. Because the first reclamation of the city is fairly easy. Oh, roads, yes please. Thank you very much. Always helpful, particularly on these border provinces. I expect Angmar will probably attack us almost straight away. I don't think they're going to uphold the neutrality pact. But anyway, for now, I'm going to end this episode there. But in the next one, we will head south to Buzzradum with the army from Thorin's Halls and capture that while we have a brief moment of peace. And then what we are going to try and do is build an army in Thorin's Halls that will endure the elven attack. So what we do really need to do, to be honest, is make this a bit more military focused than we currently have done. So we need the Miners' Union. That's definitely going to need to be the next building, so that we can get free upkeep and get troops trained, so that we can defend Thorin's Halls. I will pull probably the army from Gobadrine back, or maybe I tell you what, actually. Grinfan, no, because I don't want to be paying. I'd rather Grinfan went out. If someone's going to sit in this city, they may as well have free upkeep. But anyway, that's all for next episode. For now, I'm going to end this one there. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. There will be an Isengard episode tomorrow, and then there'll be another, the 5th and final Ered Luin campaign on Saturday, until the Ered Luin campaign then carries on in the rotation at what will then be a week on Monday, I think it is. So there'll be a week break after these 5 videos, and then it will just fall into the rotation. But for now, and until we speak again, Navar na den Peremer Melonin, and farewell.